Making of a Band, episode 3. And I have some real sad news today because my partner Betty, she's been very sick for the last 2 weeks and she's trying to recover. So get well soon, Betty. In this episode, we're going to talk about music production in general and specifically about the mixing process because the mixing is finished. I have brilliant news. Music production in general, recording. So you start writing songs, arrange songs, you do the lyrics, you try it on your acoustic guitar, piano, whatever. Start recording. I bought a beautiful Neumann U67 microphone. I really love it. It's a tube microphone. I love its sound. And then further down the recording chain, I have a Neumann V402. It's a preamp. And I'm using the low cut at 60 Hertz. I have another compressor, a retro revolver, where I have options for low cut at 90 Hertz and 250 Hertz, but I'm not using that. I'm using it sometimes for acoustic guitar recording, but that's not the topic today. So low cut at 60 Hertz. This sounds really very clean. It's also a tube amplifier. And also the compressor is a tube compressor. So if you sing at night, you have all these beautiful shiny lights. It's awesome. Gives you a great feeling. A very interesting thing when I'm recording, I'm not recording vocals with a headphone because I can't sing very well. I don't hit the tones exactly where they need to be. It is very disturbing and annoying for me. And not many people are doing that. So you can see the speaker in the back. So I put all the playback on the speaker and I'm getting very close to my microphone. I would be, let's say, 10 centimeters or so. And I sing a little bit above it in a slight angle. And then in the direction of the speaker, I would put this piece of foam so I don't have too much of bleed on the recordings. But I do have bleed and it gives me trouble later on in the mixing process especially. But in the end, in the whole mix, you won't hear it anymore. For me, it gives me the opportunity to sing very natural. Anyway, I try to have everything very naturally. I don't have any effects on the vocals while I'm singing. And you can see that I have a lot of damping material here in my studio room. I'm singing here. So I need to adapt for a few days to this very dry sound. And I don't have any hall or reverb while I'm singing. It is making everything very difficult. It's very hard to get a feeling for singing. But once you get it, you have an awesome signal. So the quality of your recording is then really very good. And for me, it's very important because the vocals are the main part of my recordings. And I want to have a very nice proximity effect. And with all the measures that I'm doing, I get it in the end. So I listened to the final mixes this weekend and they are awesome. So I have really great news. So we covered all this now. After recording, you would be editing the tracks. So if you have 20, 30, 40 tracks, you still need to clean it. So all the bleed between the different vocal recordings that you did, you try to set everything correctly, although you do programming like strings and all that stuff or percussion. You still can have like difficulties. It's not really very tight and so on. This would be done in the editing process. Also, you can add a little bit of compression there, but not a lot. All this is done. And then I found a very interesting website because I didn't know who I would take for mixing. And then I had Raimund Burke, I will put his link in the description, who told me about Sound Better. And Sound Better is a music production marketplace, which means you can find any musician, producer, mixing engineer, master engineer there worldwide. Get in contact and see if you would fit together and if you could work together. So I scrolled through, I don't know, hundreds of profiles on Sound Better. I will put the link in the description. And every producer, or most of the producers, have a sample where you can listen to what they're doing, how they work, what their sound would be like. And I stopped at BRAD MAIR. BRAD MAIR is a British producer, pop producer. He's living in Barcelona in Spain, and he has got a beautiful studio there. I've never been there so far, but I think one day I will go there. And I contacted Brad and listened to the sample that he did there. It was Saint Lundi, the song Ruin. And the work he did was awesome. So every detail was the way I would love to hear my production. Although there was a risk that he would do the production too poppy because he's a pop producer and my music is more folk, rock, indie. But he did a brilliant job. I knew he would do it. He even asked me, hey Björn, when you're finished, can you tell me some bands that you think you're similar with? And I respond, yeah, I know what you mean, but I think this is so unique. And once you hear the songs, you will get the message, and everything worked out very fine. So Brad Mair, in his catalog, he produced pop acts who have up to 750 million streams worldwide. It is awesome. I'm so happy. I'm really so happy to have him on board for this debut album. It is awesome, and he did an awesome job. Really wonderful. Also, the communication to Brad was just brilliant. So he responded immediately whenever I had a question, because everything here is new to me. Whenever I had a question, he came back to me. We found ways to sort out things. He answered all my questions and concerns that I have. We exchanged the files through Dropbox. A very easy thing to exchange files. And I'm so happy to have you on board, Brad. All right. What did he do? Other artists he did was Kygo, Isaac Danielson, Dean Lewis, and Saint Lundi.